Hello there, buddy! I'm Mr. Game Pie, and welcome to the Robot Master Numerical Run. Today we're going to be starting on Mega Man 8, and this is going to be an interesting experience. First of all, as you can see, the graphics have drastically changed yet again. This game was released on the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn initially, though I'm actually playing the GameCube version for any of those interested, and I just missed the bolt. Yay! I'm not going to be grabbing all those. Basically, unlike Mega Man 7, where in the screws had essentially an unlimited supply, you know, there were several that you could find throughout the levels, but enemies could also randomly drop them. The bolts in this game are of completely limited supply. They only appear in certain places, they never respawn, enemies cannot drop them. But at the same time, they generally drop much more useful things. I'm going to be trying to get quite a few, but I'm definitely going to miss at least a couple. I actually have a couple already because, as you did not actually see, because I didn't show it, this game has an intro stage, and that intro stage has 3 bolts, and I have all of them. Now here we have something in this game, is that it introduces a lot of alternate gameplay styles. I mean, here up front, we have riding on Rush to go through the skies and shoot a bunch of things down. And this won't be the only alternate gameplay style that we see throughout the game. Quite a few levels have them. Now, something to note about the order of this game, I won't really be able to do numerical order. You see, like Mega Man 7, this game is split up into 2 parts. And basically, you start out with 4 Robot Masters to fight, and after fighting all 4 of those, you have another 4 to fight. However, unlike Mega Man 7, the first 4 available in this game are not the first 4 numerically. The first 4 available are Tengu Man, Cloud Man, Frost Man, and Grenade Man. The first 4 numerically are Tengu Man, Astro Man, Sword Man, and Clown Man. Clearly, I'm not going to be doing that order. It also doesn't have a code like in Mega Man 7, where you start out with all 8 Robot Masters available. There's absolutely nothing like that here, because this game has no codes at all. Yay! So, yeah, that is kind of an issue. Still, the next episode will be Clown Man, and then it'll be Frost Man, and then Grenade Man. Just letting y'all know what exactly the order is for this particular part of the series. Now here, there are several upgrades that you can get to help you fight better that you get from these little things. I want to get Rush. Yes, there we go. Rush is probably one of the best ones, giving you an awesome spread shot. Eddie can use a downward attack. Otto essentially just shoots forward with a really powerful grenade, or rocket launcher. And then Beat acts as an upgrade to your charge shot. And he does massive damage. Now, as you can see, we have a symbol of a bolt in this area right above me, but we can't get that right now. You see, there are a couple instances in which you need special weapons to obtain certain bolts. This doesn't happen too terribly often, but when it does happen, you generally need either the Astro Crush or the Flame Sword. Now, numerically, Astro Man is the second character you fight, and Sword Man is the third. So, if you went in a legitimate numerical order, you'd be able to get pretty much all the bolts on your first go. But, we can't do that. In fact, it's impossible to do that. So, that's fun. You are basically required to do some backtracking if you want every bolt in the game. Tengu Man actually has different music based on which version you're playing. The version in the Mega Man collection is basically the PlayStation version, which is technically speaking the inferior version. The Sega Saturn had two bosses that the PlayStation version didn't have: Cut Man and Wood Man. But yeah, it had 2 extra bosses, which is pretty cool, all things considered. But there's... Oh, I was expecting a platform to be there. But in this version, there's no way to fight those bosses at all. There's also a different theme for Tengu Man in that version. And honestly, I like the Saturn version of Tengu Man's theme a lot more. It's pretty intense, and I think that it really fits Tengu Man as a character a lot better. Because this here, you know, this is all peaceful and sweet and stuff, which, I mean, it definitely matches this particular atmosphere, but whenever you see Tengu Man himself, you'll find that he's much of a more bratty teenager rebel kind of guy. Rebel. That's one way to pronounce that. And here he is, the Tengu himself.
Are you worthy of my challenge?
Yeah, Tengu Man's a pretty tough guy, but his boss battle isn't actually that hard. Basically, he tries to rely on instant death to defeat you. Like this! The Yamabate Depsi! That thing can potentially just knock you straight off the stage. Now, every Robot Master has a weakness, of course. Yeah, see, it could have just sent me right off the stage. Now, Tengu Man's weakness is the Ice Wave, which travels across the ground. It's your ground-based attack in this game. And as you can probably imagine, it's kind of hard to hit this guy with it. He tends to spend most of the battle in the air. Another thing to note is that usually, whenever you use a Robot Master's weakness in this game, it will either prevent or counter their special weapon. In this case, that isn't the case, really. I mean, Tengu Man's special weapon is the Tornado Hold, which I believe that the Ice Wave can destroy, but his special animation for getting hit activates whenever he tries to swoop down and hit you and then comes down from the ceiling and lands. When he lands on the ground, that's whenever you need to use the Ice Wave, and it'll freeze him to the ground. And that's good. And indeed, we get the Tornado Hold, which is a pretty cool weapon. And with that said, I'm Mr. GamePie, and I'll see you next time whenever we take on Cloud Man. See you then!